And we're talking about two teams that did play 4 games against each other last season, in which the Lakers went 3-1 in those matchups, winning the first 3 before losing their final matchup, that being on April 4th. And during their past 10 matchups, the Lakers do have the upper hand here, having a 6-4 record in their past 10 games. And well, it definitely should make for a good one tonight. Again, there's definitely plenty of star power to point to, definitely some new additions that could make it a more interesting battle, and it should be a high-scoring, ultimately very back-and-forth affair. So we're going to talk about that and go through all of that during today's video. Go through the injury updates, the matchup data, key matchup stats, and much more. But before we get too far into it, don't forget to check out Underdog Fantasy, the best way to get in on the NBA action this season and potentially profit. So if you want to follow along with me, here's what I got going on for tonight. For my first pick, I got Rui Hachimura having higher than 9.5 points, which to me is an absolute lock with no LeBron out there. Then for my second pick, I got Jared Vanderbilt having higher than 9.5 points and rebounds together, in which he averages over 13 of them against Golden State on his career. So in my opinion, that one's pretty much a lock. Then for my third pick, I got Al Horford having higher than 3.5 points, which is a pretty low number for himself. Then for my fourth and final pick, I got a gimme pick, with Kevin Durant having higher than 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists, changing that down to 0. So all he has to do is have at least 1 point, 1 rebound, or 1 assist. So if you want to follow along with me, be sure to check out Underdog Fantasy, and don't forget to use code JSM to get your free pick, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make a deposit. But now getting back to our topic, and starting out with the matchup between them, I think we gotta talk about the injury report. And beginning with the Lakers here, the biggest one by far for them and the biggest one in the entire NBA on opening day is that LeBron will be out. Officially confirmed to be out in this game, and likely for their first 5 to 10 to maybe 15 games of the regular season. Currently being out with and currently dealing with sciatica, a nerve injury that's affecting the lower right side of his body, something that's been bothering him for quite some time now, according to reports, dating all the way back to late July, so going on 3 months now. Again, it will keep him out tonight, and for probably the first month of the NBA regular season. But apart from LeBron, they do have one more confirmed player out tonight, that being rookie Adu Thero. But then for Golden State, they do have one key rotational player out tonight, that player being Moses Moody, being listed out due to a calf injury that likely will keep him out for the first week of the NBA season, potentially a little bit longer, but that's the only key player that's out tonight. Kuminga is listed as probable, but very likely is going to play tonight. Also the same thing with Jimmy Butler, but he will very likely be active. And apart from that, they simply have one two-way contract out that was not likely to play anyways. So apart from Moses Moody, LeBron James, and Adu Thero, both teams have a fully healthy roster tonight for their first match of the regular season. But moving on from the health report, talking about the matchup data and a numbers comparison between both teams last season, beginning with the offensive, defensive, and overall net rating between them and how they stacked up last season, the Lakers having the 11th rated offense, whereas Golden State had the 16th rated offense, but had the 7th rated defense, while the Lakers had the 17th rated defense, overall having the 14th highest net rating, while Golden State had the 10th highest net rating, having a net rating of plus 3.2, compared to the Lakers having one of plus 1.2, so the edge here does go to Golden State. But then for a few numbers that show off their style of play and how they like to operate on the court, beginning with their pace of play, the Lakers ranking 20th in pace last season, which is going to be even lower without LeBron on the court. He is pretty much their one-man freight train and the guy to push the ball in the open court for them, so without LeBron, expect them to play pretty slow and methodical within the half court, which will likely be the same thing for Golden State, ranking 17th in pace last season. Of course, they like to operate in the half court and get Steph Curry open, often running him around for 10 to 15 seconds alone on one play. That's the way they like to operate too. So probably expect more of a slower affair tonight, not saying that'll be a low scoring affair, but a little bit more slow and more within the half court rather than the open court. And well, again, that definitely will include plenty of 3-point shooting, not only from Golden State, but really from the Lakers here too. Post-trade deadline, the Lakers attempted 43 point shots per game, making 15.1 of them, ranking 6th in the entire NBA, also having a top 10 rating in both 3-point shot attempts and 3-point percentage, which was also the same case for Golden State, making 15.4 3-point shots per game, ranking 6th throughout the entire NBA last season, throughout the entire regular season, also ranking top 5 in 3-point shots attempted per game, and ranking top 10 in 3-point percentage. Of course, that's what they do, and that's what Steph Curry has done for over a decade. But along with that, they are not good at drawing fouls and do tend to foul quite a bit, something the Lakers likely will and can take advantage of. Whereas the Lakers drew the 3rd most fouls per game last season, also going to the free throw line the 3rd most, attempting 23.2 free throws per game, Golden State fouled 19.2 times per game, that being the 7th worst rating in the entire league, fouling a bit too much, and between Draymond Green, Moses Moody, and a few other guys in their team, they accounted for over 10 fouls per game alone. So something to point to with them, and if the Lakers can take advantage of that, while matching or coming close to Golden State's 3-point shooting, then they definitely will have the edge in this matchup. However, they cannot afford to get loose nor careless with the ball in their hands, as Golden State definitely can and will take advantage of that. Last season averaging 9.4 steals per game, ranking 4th in the entire NBA, and post All-Star break, ranking 1st, grabbing over 10 steals per game on their own. So yes, if the Lakers are careless, then the big advantage here will go to Golden State. Not to mention the Lakers' notoriously terrible transition defense, which I'm hoping will finally be better, but if it's comparable to last season where they gave up 17 fast break points per game to their opponent, that could be an obvious mismatch. If they're careless and too loose with the ball, if Golden State's playing good defense and really jumping passing lanes, and the Lakers don't get back on defense, then this one could get ugly. Overall here though, even without LeBron, I really do think it's a pretty even matchup. I mean, pretty much every time these teams play, it comes out to be a really high scoring affair and often a back and forth affair, in which there have even been multiple games that go into overtime, so I would not be shocked to see that happen again. But then to finish up, to talk about a few matchups and a few players to watch in this one, obviously I gotta start with Steph Curry. Last season averaging 31.3 points per game, 6.3 assists per game, and 3 rebounds per game against the Lakers, while of course making plenty of 3-point shots against them, making 5 of them per game against them last season, attempting nearly 14 of them, shooting 36.4% from beyond the arc, not to mention attempting 6.3 free throws per game, of course knocking them down a 92% clip, and if they let Steph drop 30 plus against them again tonight, then this one might get ugly as well. But for the Lakers, I could obviously point out Luka Doncic. No LeBron tonight, so he's going to be the primary ball handler for them, per usual, but likely have even more opportunity, a lot of pick and roll between himself and Deandre Ayton, another guy that I definitely will point out looked great throughout preseason in my opinion, definitely is coming out with a vengeance and trying to prove the entire NBA world wrong. Definitely look good defensively, so kind of watching for him to replicate that tonight, how much he'll be drawn into high pick and roll with Golden State and often trying to switch and helping out on defense with Steph Curry and the Lakers' very motion-heavy offense. I'll be watching Deandre Ayton. But for one role player in particular, I kind of hinted at it before, but I'm definitely looking for Jared Vanderbilt. Like I said, he notoriously plays very well against Golden State, throughout his entire career averaging 7.2 rebounds per game, 7 points per game, and over 2 assists per game in only about 20 minutes per game. So I definitely will point to that, and in every single one of their past 10 matchups, Vanderbilt has multiple offensive rebounds, grabbing 3 of them in their last matchup, 4 of them in their second to last matchup, and again, over 1 of them in every one of their past 10. But I think that'll pretty much do it for this one, and if you enjoyed the video, then I'll greatly appreciate it if you dropped a like, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and hit that notification bell to never miss out when I upload a video. But as always, thank you for watching and have a great day or night.